Hustlers, did you see it? I did. Um, I saw one other bloke there. He was with his lady friend, and then it was just women. The rest of the room was women, and that's when I thought this is a bit like 52 Shades of Grey. Oh, oh dear. Anyway, one sentence summary: a Robin Hood tale where the poor steal from the rich, but they keep the money themselves. Also, they're strippers. Based on a true story. Could you beat the villain? The characters are the villains. They let the greed they dislike in their rich customers kind of overtake them. And that being the case, could I beat the squad of strippers led by Jennifer Lopez? In a Dick Cheney style street fight? Probably not. There was a lot of them. A lot of them were wearing chunky jewellery. Could be very easily turned into a weapon. And also, Jennifer Lopez is 50 years old, but like obviously she works out. She had good core. Like, yeah, strong. Anyway, I could still win this though. I just have to be smart about it. First off, I'm poor. You know, they can't rob me if I have no money. Second off, the only thing that's going to defeat a gang of sexy business lady strippers who rob you is an equally sexy gang of strippers, but lads. Specifically, gay lads. Am I saying it's the perfect plan? No. Obviously there'd be some hiccups. But you know, that's just the rules I've had to invent for this game. Anyway, how would you improve the film? It was pretty good. The worst part about this film by far was the person who was sitting next to me who put her feet up on the chair in front. Very disrespectful of the cinema. Don't ever do that. So there's been some debate about this film as if it's feminist or exploitative. And it's not really for me to say. I can't mansplain that. But there were a few films, well, a few scenes in the film where it definitely felt you were objectifying the characters, particularly early on. Um, and like, it would have gone some way to making it more, yeah, girl power or lady power or whatever it is you say now, if there was at least one scene of the squad, which is not the name that's in the film. I've just called them that myself. If there was a scene of them like objectifying some dudes or something like that, I feel that would have made it definitely feminist. This film is set in a universe where apparently Apple are the only technology company. How very odd. Destiny, and yes, that is her stripper name. She dates a dude called Johnny, and he's the most mid 2000s dude you'll ever see. And he reminded me of a guy I saw at a wedding recently. That was nice. But then she gets some money and she doesn't get rid of the bowl cut. So I can't remember those being cool back in the day. Also, there's a bit where Destiny says, you know what, bloody, I was making some money. Jennifer Lopez was being really cool. I even decided to go back to school. But then it's never really mentioned again, so I wasn't sure if she actually went back to school or it was just lies. Because you did see her typing on the laptop and stuff. And there's also a similar thing where Jennifer Lopez, she's like, oh, I'm saving money so I can open up my own fashion brand. But then after that's mentioned, you see one of the other characters wearing some of this denim swimwear, but it's never mentioned again. So I thought that was just a bit odd that they bring these things up and don't mention them ever. Anyway, throughout the film, I thought Jennifer Lopez was going to be evil. So in her first meeting with Destiny, she's all like, hey, do you want to sit under my warm coat? Do you want a cigarette? I'll teach you some moves. I thought she was going to be like, you bitch, you think you can come into my club and try and steal my men? And then flick a cigarette at her. And she didn't. So I was like, okay, cool. And then throughout the film, I thought, right, okay, where they're doing these crimes and stuff, Jennifer Lopez is setting Destiny up to be the patsy. And then she didn't. And I was just like, well, that's odd. That wasn't that nice for no reason. I was reading the Wikipedia article about this so I can find out more, blah, blah, blah. And it says that training started 2.5 months before filming in preparation for a scene that has Lopez performing a major solo pole dance routine without a professional stand-in. Now, whilst there was a lot to praise about that performance, there was definitely one cut where that was not Jennifer Lopez. That was the least convincing dead grandma I've seen in a while. There's a really super weird bit with Usher in this film, like a cameo. So, and it's not even subtle. So Destiny, she's doing her flashback narration. She says, "Oh, like the last good night I remember was when Usher came in." And then Usher walks into the club in slow motion and throws some money around, and then that's the end of the scene. It was so weird. Like, did it really happen? Did he really go to the club that was mentioned in the real story? And he was like, "Yeah, I'll play myself." I don't really like the soundtrack in this film. Obviously, it's not an important, integral part of the story, and like the mid 2000s, not a brilliant era for music. But Cherry Pie by Warrant worked in Dirty Grandpa, worked in Shazam, both like stripping scenes or pole dance scenes. Why not use it in this film? Why not use it in all films? I mentioned the whole Robin Hood thing earlier, but the squad doesn't really target like bad dudes. They're going after like Wall Street traders, and Jennifer Lopez points out that there's kind of three levels. There's the middle guys who just like the grunts who work in an office and hate it and miserable and end up doing everyone's work. Feel bad for them. There's the manager types who, they'll break the rules a little bit, but they've not really got enough cash. And then there's like the CEOs and the CFOs who are just probably an arsehole. So they go through those different categories, and you think, oh yeah, and actually quite interesting, the bloody characters go through similar progression. Oh, clever. Anyway, so the stripper ladies, they are targeting these Wall Street guys, but from what we see, they only really target the bottom two, not the top ones, who are the total arseholes. At the end of the film, when the police pick up the squad, they do it with multiple squad cars each. And like, how much trouble were they expecting from these ladies? There's a character in this film called Dragon, and he's in prison, and they didn't make a single reference to Will Ferrell's character from Starsky and Hutch. That was a wasted opportunity. It's good monologuing, but she's generally just talking at people, and they're in the scene just so they can go and react to her. Particularly the bit where her and Destiny are in the diner, and she's like, "Hey, you remember back in the day? It was hurricanes." I think she was trying to say hurricanes. Throughout the film, I struggled to remember where I had seen the reporter lady who Destiny is telling the story to, so you've seen it in flashback. Struggled to remember where I'd seen her, and it was very distracting. For a little while I thought she was Ronda Rousey, but that didn't really sit right. And then it was Julia Stiles from like The Bourne Identity and stuff. So it's not really the film's fault, but they just distracted me. But Destiny and Jennifer Lopez, they open up really easily to not Ronda Rousey. But Destiny's all like, "You know what? I don't think I should tell you any more of this stuff about how we drug these dudes and stuff." And then not Ronda Rousey's like, "Oh, it's okay. Jennifer Lopez told me the story anyway. I just wanted some more information from you." She's like, "Oh, okay." And like, it turns out that wasn't a trick, as I naturally assumed. And Jennifer Lopez actually did open up to not Ronda Rousey. And there was a weird scene where she's like, "Oh, I keep all my prized possessions. I keep all this with me so that if anyone steals my stuff in my house, I won't lose it." There was no picture of her daughter that I saw, which was odd. Anyway, it's stated in the film that she's the daughter of immigrants. And then there's a bit with her grandma before she dies in the chair. She's telling the story how she met Frankie Valli. Where did Grandma meet Frankie Valli if like they presumably came from a different country? I feel bad for that Chihuahua He looked like he was going to vomit. Poor little lad. Speaking of vomit, they hired Lily Reinhart from Riverdale just to vomit. That's really all she did. Ran out of 5 beers. 3, pretty good. I did feel uncomfortable during some scenes. Yeah. Bye.